Hey guys, welcome to Neat Movie News. My name is Dean Thomas, and we're just a couple weeks away from the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. So I thought I would give you guys three movies based on the Olympics that are worth watching to get you ready for this year's Olympics. I've got three movies for you. Obviously, they're all based on true stories, which is one of the things that makes them that much more incredible. So let's start with number three, a movie that came out this year, Eddie the Eagle. This is a movie I think, well, not a lot of you guys saw based on the box office numbers, and it really deserves to be seen by a lot of people because Eddie Edwards, otherwise known as Eddie the Eagle, became this phenomenon during the Winter Olympics as a British ski jumper, and Britain had never had a ski jumper since like the 1920s. And the amount of struggle and fight that this guy had to go through just to get into the Olympics is incredible. And then match that with who this guy was. Was he an athlete in any sense of the word? No. But the way Taron Egerton plays Eddie is you care about him instantly. And Eddie was such a kind of a quirky and odd guy that it could have become a little bit like Egerton was playing like a kind of a joke or like a shtick sort of thing. But he's such a good actor that you believe it and you care about Eddie, and all you want to do is have him succeed in what his goal is. And that's just simply even just make the Olympics. Just everything about this movie, I got teary-eyed way more than I expected to. I really cared about Eddie so much more than I expected to. And Eddie the Eagle is actually one of my favorite movies of the year so far. And it's just because of the way Egerton plays him, and then Hugh Jackman adds a lot to him as well. And even though it's a Winter Olympic story, I think it's great to get you in the mindset of the Olympics in general, even though we're going into the Summer Olympics. The number two movie I think for jumping in a great start movie for the Olympics is Foxcatcher. I'm not entirely sure if wrestling is a winter or summer Olympic sport, to be honest with you, but Foxcatcher is such an unnerving and well told story about John DuPont, who kind of invites Channing Tatum, who's an Olympic wrestler, on to his property. I think it's Mark Schultz, I believe is his name, Channing Tatum's character, onto a state where he can train for the 1988 Olympics. And it's just every character in this, Channing Tatum and Steve Carell, are both incredible in this movie, and they're like nothing you've ever seen them in before. And for all those people that say Channing Tatum isn't the greatest actor, don't give him enough credit, watch this movie. I think one scene will sell you, and all I will tell you is mirror. I'll give you one word, mirror, and that'll tell you all you really didn't need to know about how good of an actor Channing Tatum has really become. I mean, John DuPont, played by Steve Carell, is one of the most unnerving characters. You just feel sick when he's on screen. And you can't help but root against him, and the fact that this is a true story and it's so dark and it's so unnerving just makes it that much worse and harder to watch, even though it's such an incredible movie. And while the Olympics aren't necessarily the forefront, he's an Olympic wrestler, and part of training for the Olympics is part of it. I thought I would count it on this list of movies to watch before the Olympics. So that's my number two pick. And my number one pick is another Winter Olympics movie with, even though we're going to the Summer Olympics, apparently there's not a ton of Summer Olympic movies that are all that great in my opinion. But number one is Miracle, based on the 1980s U.S. men's hockey team. This is one of the most incredible stories in sports history. These underdogs of this U.S. Olympic team, hockey team, back when we did not use professionals. So it's a bunch of college kids and a bunch of guys that just wanted to play hockey and represent their country, going up against the Soviet Union, who was this powerhouse who would win like 4 straight gold medals. So they just been dominant for almost 2 decades, really. And it's just a story of how this team comes together, and the fact that Kurt Russell plays the coach and the way he drives these players together. So to make sure they hate him but like each other. It's directed so well by Gavin O'Connor, who's really become one of the great directors out there with Warrior. He's got The Accountant coming out with Ben Affleck this fall. And it's just, the story is such an incredible one in general in real life, and they brought it onto the big screen in such a great way. The hockey is so believable. The way they pace this movie, the way the way it's directed, the way you really get into it. There's some scenes that really get your adrenaline pumping. You will, if you're a sports fan, if you're a citizen of the United States, you'll get up and cheer watching this movie. There's so many things to love about it. I love that they actually used Al Michaels' original call that, "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes. I love that they used that, and I love that Al Michaels actually came back and kind of dubbed over some new lines for the movie. Everything about this movie feels authentic, and because of that, it makes the true story that actually happened even great to watch in a movie. So that's my number one pick for an Olympic movie to watch before the Rio Olympics in just a few weeks. So there you guys have it. My three recommendations for movies to watch before the Olympics to get you ready is Eddie the Eagle, Foxcatcher, and Miracle. I think if you haven't seen some of the movies, please check them out. I don't know how you couldn't like these movies because they're so well done and the stories behind them are even better. Now, if there's any movies I missed and you guys love that are based around the Olympics, I know Cool Runnings was tough for me not to put up there. And I've never actually seen Chariots of Fire, if I'm being honest with you, so I couldn't include it on my list. But if you guys have movies that you think I should have included or that are on your list, I'd love to hear them in the comments below because maybe if I haven't seen them, I'll check them out before the Olympics. Thank you guys so much for listening. Let's hope the United States represents us well in the Olympics this summer, and we'll see you back here next time.